What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleaze. Today's episode, we're going to be diving into 5 smash start plays. This is going to be quarterback and running back driven for this one. So I'm going to give you 2 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends, because remember, we are on bye-mageddon with 6 teams on a bye. So I would give you more normally, but it's kind of, slim pickings, and I don't want to give you superstar names. So Lions, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, Jaguars, all on a bye. Get them out your lineup, guys. Before we dive into it, as always, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support's appreciated. And this is going to be defensive metric based all the way. I'm going to look at every single stat there is for them. I'm also going to look at the high implied point total of the game, defensive injuries. And for the quarterbacks, these are guys that I have 2 quarterbacks I believe that are going to give you 20 plus points. And for the tight end, it's a little lower. I'm going to say 12-point floor for the tight ends up to touchdown upside. So if you can get 12 points from your tight end, that is always a smash to me as well. So before we dive in, guys, make sure you take a look at pinned in the comments, drafters.com and the guys FF down below. I run it with Big Draft Energy. We will be live tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern as well. So if you guys can make the show, greatly appreciated there. If you can't, you can drop any questions you want down below. Week 8 is here, baby. Chargers, Vikings tonight. And let's dive into who is going to smash in your lineups in Week 8. Starting off with quarterback number 1 out of the 2 that is going to smash for 20-plus points this week. You thought it was going to be Bo Nix when you saw the thumbnail. That is too easy of a call, man. Cannot put Bo Nix as a smash play versus the Dallas Cowboys' worst defense. That's just too easy. Too cakewalk for me. It's going to be Joe, the old man Flacco, the 40-year-old savior for the Cincinnati Bengals, going up against the New York Jets this week. Now, when I'm looking at Joe Flacco here, you look at all of his stats. So you got to remember 4 of these stats came with the Cleveland Browns, and he never even had a 20-point game with the Cleveland Browns. His highest point game with the Browns is 14.2. Why? Because he didn't have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on that team. So when you look at what he's done already, Week 6, Green Bay, 22.76 points. That's one of the best defenses in the NFL. That's a 20-point play. Last week versus Pittsburgh, who's supposed to be a good defense, but they're sporadic on and off, he drops 31.9. That's an average, guys, of 26 points per game with this Bengals offense. It is absolutely flying. So I'm not going to read the stats up because the first 4 weeks were absolutely terrible with the Browns. But you can look at them to see them right there. So, the interesting stat you need to look at also is the deep balls. That's just going to go up and up and up with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Now, when we look at the New York Jets, this team 0-7, the only winless team in football. We don't know if it's going to be Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields yet. I'm assuming by what the owner said, if we can't complete a damn pass, that it's going to be Tyrod Taylor. And the Jets defense is just struggling because they're out there on the field so long. So they give up 18.3 points per game to the quarterback. That already ranks 22nd. They've given up 1,443 passing yards, 13 passing TDs, and 165 yards on the ground. So, Joe Flacco in his old age is not going to be going up, running much in this game. But you also have to realize that Joe Burrow, pending a return, the more wins they get, the more likely it is going to happen. So I firmly believe they're going to beat the Jets here 4-4. And Joe Flacco is probably going to be a 20-point play every single week. 23 freaking targets to Jamar Chase last week, 16 receptions, Bengals record. T. Higgins could have scored a touchdown at the end, but he was smart and went down and saved waited the clock to kick the game winner, which was smart on his part. This is going to be electric. This is why I was telling you guys 2 weeks ago when they signed him that this is the perfect quarterback to have in this system because their offensive line is terrible. You need a quick release vet that knows what they're doing. And Joe Flacco, it's going to be like, man, is he ever it's like he's like that guy, old vet. Is it a safe play? It's going to be a safe play every single week, in my opinion, after what I've seen already. Get Joe Flacco into your lineup this week, just like I told you he was going to smash last week. Quarterback number 2 that is going to smash this week. Yes, I had him as a smash last week, and it completely missed. And I'm not that dude that likes to hide from it. I will show you the transparency because this is what I'm going to start doing for the rest of my smash videos for the rest of the year. So these, and this is my Twitter, by the way. If you guys don't follow the Twitter, Sleazebomb, it's up there. We're almost at like 25K followers. All the sports appreciated there too. Now, so this was my smash plays for 20-plus point quarterbacks and for I guess you put the running backs at 15 plus or anytime TDs. I popped them in there. Wide receivers, I was going for 12-point floor with 20-point upside. And then tight ends always kill me, man. So this is going to be a tough video. This is going to get with tight ends. But tight ends, I go for 12 plus points because those are hard. That's what you want as a tight end. So Caleb Williams, I blame the weather. JK. The weather was bad, man. They ran the ball 40 plus times. I hit on Bo Nix, Quinshon Judkins, Javonte Williams, Jordan Mason, Isaiah Pacheco. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was a miss against the Dallas Cowboys' worst run D. I can't explain that one. Rasheed Rice, Chris Olave was absolute money. Debo Samuel, that was a tough, I did that before the week, so he obviously got hurt. And then Mike Evans, I posted this on Monday Night Football that he was going to play and smash, and obviously he got hurt there as well. And then Tucker Kraft, and I missed on Mason Taylor and Fan and Bat. And it was just, tight ends. I struggle with the tight ends for some reason on these smashes, but we're going to make up for it this week. So I just wanted to show you guys the transparency. I'm going to do that every single week on every single video so I can be better for you guys and you can see the hits and misses. So why I like Caleb Williams here again, and I know he just dropped 4.6 points against the New Orleans Saints in the rain, and somehow Rattler could hit Olave with deep bombs. But, man, they ran the hell out of the ball. You saw Manunjai and Swift, and they just controlled the clock and won the game. So, yeah, it really hurt. I missed on Caleb Williams. But on the season, 185 pass attempts, 113 completions, 1,351 pass yards, 9 TDs and 3 interceptions. Got to like that. He's using his legs a lot more this year, too. 32 attempts for 102 with 2 touchdowns. Completion percentage, Ben Johnson said he won down to 70%. I expect that to come up. Deep balls. He's flinging the deep balls. Number 5 in the NFL. QBR number 20 at 52.2. And he's QB 14, coming off a very bad week of 4 points, right? So he has a chance to pop back into the top 10 this week. Now, you're going to get the Baltimore Ravens off a bye, right? Their defense could be getting healthier. I get that. I do think Lamar Jackson is going to play in this game. And I'm looking at it like you got to think that kind of Vegas does as well, right? When you're looking at the over-under, it's up to 49.5. And Lamar's practiced back-to-back days. Now, there was that weird update that he might not be out there, but I'm banking with the Ravens at 1-5 and their season on the line. He's going to be out there. So, now, why do you got to like this so much for DJ Moore, for Romo Dunze, for Caleb Williams, for Colston Loveland, who we're going to get to in a second as a bold call here, is the Baltimore Ravens secondary has been absolute trash. They give up 21.9 points to the quarterback. That ranks 31st, 1,532 yards. And remember, they're coming off a bye with that. So you got to factor in, that's a 6-game sample size just passing yards. That is a ton. 14 passing TDs, 2 TDs on the ground, 16 TDs in total to the quarterback through 6 weeks. You're looking at a 2+ or 2.2 plus touchdown upside here for Caleb Williams. I expect the bounce back. I expect Rome to bounce back. I expect the entire Bears offense to have a big game here against the very bad Baltimore Ravens defense, and I love him as a smash play again, and he's going to make up for last week for me. Heading over to the tight end side, player number 3, tight end number 1 that is going to smash. And yes, I'm going to follow back on last week again with Mason Taylor, who I missed on, because you have to look at the situation and you have to absolutely love this. Now, what happened that was so terrible last week that was costly? This guy's playing 93% of the snaps last week against Carolina. That's a bottom 2 defense versus the tight end. And Justin Fields is just terrible. 0 targets, okay? Third quarter hits. They pull Justin Fields at the end. Tyrod Taylor comes in for a quarter and a half, let's say, quarter and 3 minutes or whatever it was. And all of a sudden you had 5 freaking targets for Mason Taylor. That is what is going to happen here in this game. I firmly believe that Tyrod Taylor is going to be named the starter, and we're going to dive into why it is so pretty versus Cincinnati Bengals here in a second. So, you got to look at the season stats. This is rookie stats, 29. He's pretty much the second option. And we don't know if Garrett Wilson's going to be out there. He missed practice today, too. So 29 targets, 21 receptions, 177 yards, 0 TDs. Target share, 18%. That's top 10. That's great. Snap share, 82.2. That's top 10. Route participation, 92.3. That is alpha elite usage, tight end 1 usage. Number 2, they even line him up in the slot at the 17th most rate, at 74 slot snaps, 3 red zone targets, and he's tight end 25 on the season. Now, remember last week, remember my bold prediction call with Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers and the touchdowns for the tight ends for Noah Fant and all the Steelers tight ends. The Steelers put up 4 tight end touchdowns last week versus Cincinnati Bengals. Jonnu Smith, Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington. Pat Freiermuth had freaking 2 of them. So now, when you're in a situation where you probably have no Garrett Wilson, the Bengals absolutely struggle versus the tight end. This has to be a 12-plus point play. They have to go to Mason Taylor. They are not going to trust, Arian Smith, Josh Reynolds or Alan Lazard. I'm going to be leaning on the Jets tight end that I absolutely love as a start this week. Tight end number 4 that is going to smash again, who I had him on there last week, and we're going to ride it one more time. It is Tucker Kraft of the Green Bay Packers going up against who we just talked about, the Pittsburgh Steelers, where Noah Fant scored last week in the Aaron Rodgers revenge game on Sunday Night Football. Now, we are going to have a couple things all around to talk about here with Tucker Kraft, and I'm not so sure that what I said last video when I said he's just a plug-and-play tight end 1 start, because now you have all these wide receivers coming back too. So we got to look at the matchup side as well. But we're going to look at his stats here first. 22 targets, 18 receptions, 268 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. I should be 4 touchdowns on the season. That is wrong. This is the wrong slide. I think I grabbed the last week. Hang on. This is how you know we're going straight live shots here. Yep. Well, I guess it's staying there, but it's 32 receptions, 23 targets, 326, 4 touchdowns. Snap share 16.2%, 92.8. Number 3, target share 16.2. Route participation is at 74%. Now it went up since last week. Slot snaps, red zone targets at 8. That's number 5. I don't know why I put the wrong slide in here, but either way, it's Tucker Kraft. You don't got to worry about it, right? So, why you have to like this matchup, and then a couple things to talk about that are also going to be worrisome heading forward here is the Green Bay Packers are going to get Christian Watson back this week. We're about 2-3 weeks away from Jaden Reed. Then you're going to have Romeo Doubs, Matthew Golden, Tucker Kraft, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed. How is it going to play out for the Green Bay Packers, right? The only guy I'm going to firmly like, and I can't fully move him into the tight end 1 must-start spot because all the weapons around him, is Tucker Kraft. He's going to be running free across the middle. Now, when we talked about the Cincinnati Bengals Pittsburgh Steelers game last week, why did I like it so much? Well, the Steelers are 3rd worst in the NFL versus the tight end, giving up 17 points a game. 36 receptions, 403 yards. That is bottom 10 in yardage. 4 touchdowns, which is bottom 5 in touchdowns allowed as well. Tucker Kraft absolutely going to smash, going to piss off Aaron Rodgers on his revenge game versus the Green Bay Packers. Get Tucker Kraft into your lineup, and I like him for an anytime touchdown as well. Last but not least, number 5, we're going to get bold here because it's National Tight Ends Day, and Colston Love, what I'm going to call it right now, gets his first NFL career touchdown this week versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, we got to talk about a couple things here that are going to be solid, and it's going to be very, very good informational breakdown for you here. So, Colston Love, and all these numbers, remember, this is under 50% snaps, playing with Cole Kmet, besides last week where Cole Kmet got injured with the back injury, and they ruled him out pretty right away. So, it looks like he's not going to play this week. It says unlikely, but make sure you're paying attention, because if Cole Kmet is out there, then it really hurts Colston Love, right? So, he played 60% of the snaps last week, highest of the season. He got 6.9 fantasy points, highest of the season. 4 targets, highest of his season. 24 yards, not the highest. He had more in week 3 against Dallas, but everyone beats Dallas. So, when we're looking at Colston Loveland this week and why you have to love it a ton with the Baltimore Ravens, who we just went over how bad they are versus the quarterback, well, lo and behold, they're also bottom 10, ranking in at 25th versus the tight end, giving up 15.2 points, 39 receptions, and remember, that's with a bye as well. 402 yards with a bye as well, which is bottom 10, so you have to love this matchup. Now, the best part is when Cole Kmet goes down last week, right? Colston Loveland didn't just run his, highest snap rate. He ran his highest route rate at 63%. He had his highest target share at 15.4%, and he had 25%. This is the key number. 25% of first read involvement with Caleb Williams. That is what you want to see. His usage, his red zone snaps are all going up. Now is the time for the streamer play of the week with him, where he could possibly be a top 10 tight end. We could possibly see Ben Johnson finally get his Sam Laporta type rookie tight end involved here. And I honestly think if he flashes in this game right here, he's on your waiver wire, which he's on some waiver wires, he still is. He flashes in this game, it's probably the end of Cole Kmet. And I love Colston Loveland for a 12-plus point fantasy week this week. Thanks for rocking with me, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my 5 smash, 2 quarterbacks, 3 tight end players that I think you should have in your lineup. A ton. Obviously, they're not going over the superstar name, so that always happens. Like, start this guy over Tyler Warren. No, do not do that. Do not start them over Patrick Mahomes. Nothing like that. But if you guys have questions down below, Always drop them in there. Again, I will be live 6 p.m. tonight, or 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. Hope to see you guys in there. If not, drop all your questions, comments down below. And on your way out, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription, turn that bell on so you don't miss anything. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you haven't checked out drafters.com or the Guys FF Discord where we talk fantasy football 24/7, make sure you do. That's probably it for me today, guys. My running back, wide receiver smashes will come tomorrow with the sleeper plays as well. So I'll get all those out for Friday because I don't think there's really a lot of sleeper play opportunity here in this Charger game. You have stars across the board, right? You got Addison, Jefferson, Hawkinson. You've got all the 3 Charger wide receivers, Keenan, Quentin Johnston, and Vlad McConkey, Kamani Vidal, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones. Not really sleeper opportunities there. So saving that for Friday, guys. Now that's it for me in this episode, man. Hope to see you guys in the live stream tonight. Thank you guys for all the support already. It's been absolutely amazing. That's it for me. I'll see you guys tonight, man. Sleaze Bum out.